Hello, today we will be discussing Hub Group Dedicated and their business process transformational change. The trucking industry has over 100 years of history. In 1899, Winston Motor Carriage Company built one of the first trailer trucks that could carry small amounts of cargo. By the early 20th century, trucks were able to carry larger loads with the invention of gasoline-powered internal combustion engine and pneumatic tires. World War I created a large demand for trucking as an alternative transportation to train freight. By the 1920s, the diesel engine, powered assisted brakes and steering, and the fifth wheel were introduced and revolutionized the industry further. During this time, the trucking industry was still limited by the lack of paved roads connecting cities throughout the United States. The American Trucking Association was founded after Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the New Deal to create fair competition among industry participants. In 1935, the Motor Carrier Act was passed to help regulate the trucking industry by limiting weight, distance, and hours driven by truckers in a day. Even with the advancements from the first part of the 20th century, the trucking industry was still limited by the roadways. Congress enacted the Federal Highway Act in 1956 to create an interstate highway system to connect the continental United States and move people and goods faster among urban areas. The 1970s were considered the heydays of the trucking industry, but this wasn't to last once the Motor Carrier Act passed in 1989, deregulating the industry, forcing unions to become defunct. This allowed for a boom in the number of truck companies and competition. It is estimated that there are about 15.5 million trucks in operation today. No longer is the trucking industry based solely on long-distance deliveries. The e-commerce boom has created a high demand for last-mile deliveries. The trucking industry has and will always remain vital to the United States economy and will continue to grow as it explores new innovations like self-driving vehicles and advanced logistics. Estison Logistics was founded in a coffee shop in Scottsdale, Arizona in 1999 by two friends. Their plan was to create a dedicated carrier. A dedicated carrier is a trucking company whose fleet is sold as a service to customers. Carriers dedicate a portion of their fleet, drivers, and operational staff to a customer for use on a contracted route. They handle all the details of the transportation side, allowing customers to focus on their core business. It took Estison over a year to break into the market and become profitable. Estison has grown to be the 14th largest dedicated contract carrier in North America with 1,200 power units and more than 5,000 trailers operating at approximately 120 customer locations. Over the years, Estison has built a reputation for quality of service and has won many industry and safety awards. Hub Group, another large nationwide trucking company, acquired Estison Logistics LLC for $306 million in 2017. Estison Logistics remains operating out of Mesa, Arizona as a wholly owned subsidiary under the new name of Hub Group Dedicated. The trucking industry has low barriers to entry. It is easy for nearly anyone to obtain a commercial truck driver's license and become a truck driver. Capital to purchase a truck is easily accessible as well. Larger fleets do have trouble maintaining a full trucking staff due to an overall driver shortage. This is mostly due to the negative image of a trucker's lifestyle. Industry leaders are trying to change that by increasing benefits that attract new drivers. Some government regulations do limit the amount of hours a trucker is allowed on the road and also requires trucks to be equipped with equipment that can track and report information. Buyers of the trucking industry have high bargaining power due to limited product differentiation between trucking companies and very low switching costs. Buyers grade all trucking companies on the same key metrics such as on-time performance and shipping rates. If a trucking company is unable to deliver according to the customer's metrics, it is easy for the company to find another trucking provider. The threat of substitutes for the trucking industry is very low. Rail is cheaper per mile but has less supporting infrastructure to move cargo into certain areas. Air transport is faster than trucking but comes at a much higher cost. Both rail and air transport still require trucking transport for the last mile delivery to final destinations. The bargaining power of suppliers in the trucking industry is also very high. The trucker shortage was listed as the industry's most critical issue in 2017. New drivers are demanding higher wages and better benefits before signing up with a trucking company. Many of the other costs of operating a truck are variable, dependent on mileage run, and have little influence on price from operators. Fuel is the largest of these variable costs. Fuel prices are controlled by the oil and gas industry. Trucking companies have little bargaining power to negotiate fuel prices. Competition in the trucking industry is extremely high. The biggest contributing factors are the low barriers to entry, little differentiation in product, high bargaining power of buyers, and low switching costs. Hub Group Dedicated's largest strength that attracts customers is their ability to customize their service offerings to meet a customer's specific needs. This customization includes the ability to transport different types of workloads and the ability to scale services to meet larger customers. Having been bought by another company and rolled into a new subsidiary called Hub Group Dedicated less than 1 year ago, the company and its employees are still going through a transition period. This is a time when the new company and its old employees are trying to build a new culture while trying to maintain some of their previous identity. The company is developing new business processes and building new IT systems that can integrate them. The end result of this transition should be positive, but there will be struggles along the way. The company must ensure that their previous award-winning customer service is not impacted during this transition. The relationship between the two companies creates opportunities for cross-selling products. In 2017, when Hub Group Inc. purchased Estison Logistics, which would become Hub Group Dedicated, it was estimated that cross-selling opportunities were in excess of $100 million in the first 5 years. Hub Group Inc. is heavily invested in technology that enhances their services and reduces their costs. As a subsidiary, Hub Group Dedicated has an opportunity to incorporate these technologies into their own services and business processes. Many threats to Hub Group Dedicated faces are industry-wide issues. All trucking companies are experiencing the driver shortage that is decreasing their ability to recruit and train new drivers. In order to attract new drivers, the industry is trying to change the negative perception of the job lifestyle while raising wages and increasing benefit packages. These increases come at a cost to trucking companies and reduce profit margins. Tariffs and new trade barriers are constant threats to trucking and the industries it supports. The U.S. government at any time can impose new tariffs in an attempt to improve the U.S. economic standing. These tariffs have a negative impact, however, and hurt some manufacturers by making the cost of business too high or decrease the demand for goods. Other threats dependent on the government regulations include crumbling U.S. road infrastructure. Overall, Hub Group's dedicated strengths and opportunities outweigh their weaknesses. If they continue to use their strengths to take advantage of their opportunities, then they will have a strong and profitable future. Once the transition out of the recent acquisition phase, the company will have strong business processes that enable them to deliver their strong customer service and cross-selling with the parent company other business. Hub Group Dedicated has many primary and support activities that have potential for transformation. Due to the industry forces and high competition, customers are very sensitive to price. Hub Group Dedicated must keep prices low to attract new customers and keep existing customers from switching. To create more value for the company, the primary objective of any business process transformation must be to reduce operational costs. This will create higher margins for the company.
In 2015, Estenson Logistics found itself at a precipice and ready to scale to new heights. Eager to make the jump to the next level in the market, senior management wanted to double in size over the next 4 years. Aware that growth at that rate would require business processes and systems that would scale to demand, analytics, and demonstrated key performance indicators to show added value to the customer, and improvement in fleet services to maximize profit margins, Estenson embarked on a journey to improve their award-winning services. In 2017, co-owners Tim Estenson and Paul Truman were approached by a company from Oak Brook, Illinois called the Hub Group. Hub Group is a transportation company whose main market segment is intermodal transportation. But the company was looking to branch out into dedicated carrier services to offer their existing customers complementary services. Hub Group was on a similar precipice of expansion, and the company was faced with the time-old business decision of build versus buy. Deciding buy was the better option, Hub Group viewed Estenson Logistics as a great addition to their service offerings. Estenson Logistics saw the Hub Group as the best route to continue their desired growth plan. We believe cross-selling opportunities are in excess of $100 million in the next 5 years, David Yeager, Hub Group Chairman and CEO, said in a statement. Hub Group acquired Estenson Logistics in a $306 million deal in 2017. Estenson Logistics began doing business as Hub Group Dedicated. The Hub Group viewed themselves as one company with the same 5 principles across their multimodal business solutions: unparalleled service, innovative solutions, trust, talent, and growth. Their focus is the customer. The transportation life cycle is pretty simple. A customer tenders a load to the carriers. A carrier accepts the load for transport. Carriers pick up the load and deliver it to the recipient. The recipient accepts the load, giving the carrier a bill of lading, and the carrier invoices the customer for the delivery. The entire process can be captured through electronic data interchange, or EDI, between the customer and the carrier, and the process is commonly referred to as the 204, 990, 214, 210 life cycle. 204 being the load tender, 990 the carrier's response, 214 the carrier's update, which is usually a confirmation of delivery, and a 210 being an invoice or a bill. In a town hall meeting in March of 2018, Veva Diamond, Hub Group CIO, informed her team of the blight of EDI. 60% of all Hub Group customers still require some form of paperwork. Why would that be? The problem is in the alignment of data. At its core, the data to be exchanged is where to pick up a shipment, when to pick up the shipment, what is being picked up, and where to deliver the shipment. However, the where for one customer may be a store number which gets translated to an address, while another customer may give the carrier an address with a dock number. The when for one customer may be an exact time, but it may be a date or a range of times for another customer. Small companies may not have the transportation needs of a larger customer and cannot justify electronic systems to support EDI. They may still be using paper and tendering loads via fax or email. Hub Group uses TruckMate by TMW as their ERP system. They have a custom-built front end called Site Manager for their employees to interface with TruckMate. Because they do not use a single system for load tenders across all customers, it is difficult for Hub Dedicated to utilize their assets. In order for Hub Group to reach their maximum potential, they need to leverage their assets, their fleet, their infrastructure, and their drivers across all customers to give them the biggest bang for their buck. Hub Group has drayage terminals nationwide that are closely located to Hub Group dedicated customers. Hub Group dedicated has clusters of customers within the same region. Assets should be leveraged across all of these customers.
One of Hub Group Dedicated's mission key principles is to partner with our customers to grow all business lines, provide innovative solutions, and reduce costs. Currently, HDD does not use a business process to optimize its fleet routes or the loading capacity of the trucks themselves. Some days, trucks sit empty at the HDD maintenance yard, while others are sent out onto routes half empty on longer than needed routes. We feel this is an area where new research in operation management and innovation can help optimize the truck routes and truck capacity to save the company time and money. We would like to present a new business process to help HDD achieve its key 2017 company focus of continually driving company profitability and health by controlling expenses through the most cost-effective models and programs, and adding value and innovation to continually drive account profitability. Our new business process or key 2018 solution is to optimally route the trucks from the warehouses to the varying customer drop-off locations while utilizing the full capacity of the trucks themselves. To achieve this goal, we're going to not only apply the traveling salesman problem, but expand its solution to include optimization of truckloads. The traveling salesman problem is an age-old problem of, given a list of cities and the distance between each pair of cities, what is the shortest possible route that visits each city and returns to the origin city? At Hub Group Dedicated, instead of a list of cities, we have a list of warehouses and customer delivery locations with distances between them. We believe through the use of innovative technology, the expanded solution to the traveling salesman problem can help save HDD money by calculating the best packing procedures to help pack the trucks to their fullest capacity before leaving for deliveries, and calculating the fastest routes for deliveries. Our innovative business process is presented in a logarithm based on the original traveling salesman problem to optimize the vehicle routing problem with pickup and delivery with time windows and 3D loading constraints. In order to determine the shortest truck routes through the vehicle routing problem with pickup and delivery with time windows and 3D loading constraints, we must satisfy the following constraints. We must have flow balance at the truck's origin, meaning the truck must begin and end its route at the origin. 2. Pickup and deliveries must be completed during specified time windows. 3. We must have flow balance at shipment pickup locations. Each warehouse can only be visited once to pick up a shipment. 4. We must have flow balance at shipment drop-off locations. Each receiving customer can only be visited once to have a shipment delivered. 5. Each truck can only complete one trip. Multiple trips are not allowed. 6. Flow balance between truck capacity and shipment size. The size of the shipment cannot exceed the capacity of the truck. 7. Cost of the truck. This includes the cost of truck maintenance, fuel, driver's wages, insurance, and depreciation of the truck, and other components. 8. We must assume a homogeneous fleet of trucks. Our algorithm, along with its constraints, will utilize a truck route similar to this figure of multiple connected nodes to determine the shortest route to the warehouses to pick up shipments, and then the subsequent shortest route to the different customer drop-off locations based on the distances between the nodes and the specified drop-off time windows. Another cost savings in our new business process is to effectively utilize the entire space of the trailer to load shipments. The truck capacity optimization component has 5 constraints. First, the maximum load of the shipments cannot be greater than the maximum load limit of the truck. 2. Customer shipments must be loaded next to each other and not split apart to avoid unnecessary unloading and loading of boxes at drop-off points. 3. The boxes must lay flat and can only rotate at 90-degree increments to fit inside the truck. 4. Smaller boxes cannot be placed under larger boxes. 5. Box weights must be taken into account. Heavier boxes cannot be placed on top of lighter, more fragile boxes to avoid crushing of the shipments. With the application of the vehicle routing problem with pickup and delivery with time windows and 3D loading constraints into new software, Hub Group Dedicated can actively generate packing diagrams and truck routes for each truck driver before they even start their day. The driver can then input their newly generated route into their GPS systems and begin their optimally routed pickup and deliveries. We believe that Hub Group Dedicated will save time and increase profits with more trucks going out for deliveries fully loaded and on the road less.